Yes. All right. Check. Testing. Hello. What the? Check. All right. Welcome. Hello to you all. Here we go. Hold on a second. See, Rick is there. Mike Pellerito, 1 year anniversary day. We're going to get into that. Linda Hall. Look at all these awesome faces. Kevin Steele and his dumb open carry. Kevin Steele, a.k.a. Wyatt Earp. We should do a stunt, Kevin, where you walk through a Walmart with your open carry. See how many funny looks you get. That was a bad joke. But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get in trouble for it because I'm the fucking boss. Okay. All right. Year 2 begins now!
And now, here's a guy who really ought to be saving his breath for his inflatable date.
You're the most ridiculous!
It's the Eric Zane Show Podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show Podcast. Oh, yeah. Holy shit. Can you think back to 1 year ago when, the walls in this room that you see on the live stream. Thank you to the folks listening or enjoying the podcast on YouTube and Periscope and Facebook. You see the room as it is now. But I mean, if you really got to kind of put your brain into the frame of mind of where we were 1 year ago. Like unfinished room and I was so happy though to be in here and it was just fantastic, a terrific podcast. I mean, technically, I didn't have any idea what the hell I was doing. I couldn't really formulate too many thoughts. I did as best as I could. I had this little teeny tiny notebook computer that I was recording the audio on, and it was really jacked because if you listen back to it, it would get hung up. It would like there was so much going into this little teeny tiny piece of equipment that it was like, help me, we can't do it. And it was started to like, it would lag in weird ways. And then when you listen back to it, there was like chunks of audio just missing. It would cut like from the middle of one word to like the middle of the next sentence. It was terrible, but we got it done. And I was excited to be doing it. And at the time, I just spent a lot of those of that podcast just kind of like telling the story of getting shit canned from when Queen Cersei fired me, cut my head off, and how good I felt despite that, with zero pressure now. And it's been like that ever since for 1 full year to the day. It was in the evening when I podcasted, so it would be actually 1 year precisely at like 7 or 8 o'clock on January 6th, 2019. But we do the podcast in the morning now, so what the hell? But I remember I was feeling really good, and then there was a ton of people that were enjoying the podcast. It was great. and off we went. But truth be told, I was expecting for the first couple of days after that got started to be holding a full-time job, working for the man type of deal. And I was willing to do whatever it took. And I kept going back to potentially selling campers, and that still could have happened. In fact, I still think. I'm not saying it would happen, but I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I'm just saying it could still happen. I could still do that. But it was the outpouring from the folks who signed up on Patreon, even for just a short while, for just a few months, which it was, it just pushed me into the whole realm of self-employed home business podcast. It got the gears spinning of, hey, shit, there's enough people following this thing. I can go and I can put some butts into the seats, and I'll reach out to my network and start to sell ads. I've done it before. I did it with that stupid YouTube podcast after I got fired in 2016. Well, now I'll just kind of make it like that, but on steroids, And that was it. That's we've just done that exact thing since that exact day. And, sky's the limit, I guess, thanks to the time you've given in watching it and the sponsors. That's all it's done, or that's all it's been in order to get it done, I should say. Hang on, I got to drink this coffee. I'm already rambling. Hang on. All right, that's the end of that. So here we sit. 1 year since then. And, wow, we're going to celebrate. Sorry to the folks who wanted to be here and wanted this event to be a Saturday. I know Brian voiced his, hey, come on, make it on a Saturday. But we will do another one of these. I'll tell you what, for the Saturday crowd. But and I promise about that. I really do. I'm not just saying that to pacify you. We will do a Saturday event. But this Friday, we are having a 1-year Eric Zane Show Podcast celebration anniversary party. Thank you to Sexy Voice Andrea for putting this in my brain. I would not have done this had she not said, hey, we're doing a party. And I went, yeah, that's a good idea. So thanks to her for putting that on my brain. What we're going to do is we are going to Pepino's downtown after the Griffins game on Friday. Now, you don't have to go to the Griffins game, but you're more than welcome to. But after I get done doing PA for the Griffins on Friday night, we're going to go over to Pepino's, which is just across the street from the rink, and then have a bash. Now, at Pepino's, they got that nice little upper level area, which we kind of commandeered that the last time we did this, and that will be the case again. And there's no, I don't think they can turn you away, but I think we're going to pack it. I've already got dozens of people that are going to be there, and I'm guessing they'll bring a friend or two, and it's going to be bonkers. So I should wander over there sometime between 9:30 and 10, depending on when the game ends. But I got it getting going at around 9:30. That area will be ours, and the food's on me. All right, the drink is yours, which has been the case before whenever we do these little events. So that is Pepino's on Friday the 10th. Is that right? Today is the 6th. Yes. Friday the 10th of January. Come on out and say hello. All right. 1 freaking year. Party at Pepino's. All right. Today is a day that has been off to a fantastic start. I'm kind of waiting for the bottom to drop out of it with exhaustion, because I did something I haven't done in a while, and that is got up early, real early, like 4:20 for all you potheads. 4:20, the alarm went off. Diana is really diving in now into this new year, new Diana thing. and I'm right there helping her in support. And it's good for me, too. And that is we went over to Fit Body Boot Camp, Hudsonville Fit Body Boot Camp, which is apparently under new ownership, which I just found out about that. So hopefully that'll work out for the best. I reached out to Dude, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But we went out there, and holy shit, man. So I feel great, and so does she. And but it's like, damn it. Later on in the day, it's like, no. There's something particular about getting up at that hour that just, I mean, if I get up in the 6 o'clock hour, I can stay up all day long. But how is it that you just knock like an hour and a half off of that earlier, and it's like you're completely wasted at 10 a.m.? Come on. The week is continuing to march on, or the weekend marched on with the success that Diana and I had with this eating in the keto way. Now, I talked to Bob Kaiser of the Griffins announcer, and he goes, hey, I heard you talking about that diet. What were you saying? Apparently, I've been saying it too fast. I get going a million miles an hour. Keto, which is short for ketogenic diet. New year. Pushed right through the weekend. Not a bit of an issue. This is the longest continued success I have had eating in this format. Typically, every second day, I'll fall off the wagon and have to start all over. But again, this is not a good idea because you're actually changing the chemistry of your body. What? I've gone down this road before, but it's so damn true. So many of the audience have fought the battle with what to eat, how to do it, and I'm telling you, look this shit up. It's freaking awesome. You're essentially changing the fuel source that your body burns. It loves burning sugar. And then when it's done with it, it's done raping the sugar. It stores it as fat. Ah, God. And it's just horrible for you. If you change the fuel source to fats, your body is going to get the necessary glucose and glycogen from fat. Okay? And now the reason why your body doesn't like that is because your body has to work harder metabolically to make that happen, to burn the fat. Sugar's so easy. It loves it, man. Fat, it's like, fuck, we got nothing to burn here to get the glucose to the brain. What the fuck are we going to do? All right, burn this fat. So you know what it does? It goes to my belly. Right here. And it carves off hunks of it, and it chews it up. Oh, yes. Even when you're sleeping, you're a fat-burning machine. Now, you still can't take in more than you're burning. You can't eat like an idiot. You can't glug, glug, glug the ranch dressing Pellerito. I know you're going to get this for a GIF. But, man, I'm stoked about this. It's going great. In fact, yesterday morning I woke up, and after the usual requisite functions worked their way out of my system, I weighed in at 168. Oh, my God, yes! Now, again, we started this on Christmas Eve at 176. We are rolling. We're just killing it. By the way, when your body does this to the fat, there's a byproduct called a ketone, hence ketogenic. The complex nature of the ketone is such that it's an energy powerhouse. So your body is going to use that byproduct called ketones as energy. And it is one of the things that makes this all work. Okay? Now, that is the idiot's version of what's going on here. You're probably wondering why I'm telling you all this shit. Because I want you to do it. I want you to, I know every single person watching this is like, shit, man. I hate being fat. I hate being disgusting. And I'm not going to preach to you. I'm just saying this friggin' works. All right, one of the things they want you to eat is dark chocolate. No, they don't want you to. They say if you want to indulge, one of the things you can get away with and eat is dark chocolate. Now, I'm thinking like Hershey's or something like that. But that's not exactly what they're talking about. They're talking about almost pure cocoa, or I think it's called cocoa. Cocoa. That's it, cocoa. I'm probably saying that wrong. But that's what, like, milk chocolate is made from. Now, all this is smashed up beans from the cocoa plant and maybe a little bit of sugar. It's barely sweet. But you bite into it, and it's like a Hershey bar until you taste this horrible, horrible, absolutely tragic, bitter, disgusting taste. Now, the dark chocolate I ate yesterday was 92% cocoa. All right? Somebody needs to tell me if I'm saying that right. It's spelled C-O-A-C-O-A. I don't know. And it is so bad. Oh, my God. Now, the only reason why I ate it was, first of all, to try it, because Diana bought it, wanted to see what it tasted like, because we kind of like have sweet tooths. We want to see if that can maybe pacify us in some way. Yeah, it does, and it just makes you want to barf. Oh, my God. This is so bad. If you've never eaten dark chocolate that's like 90, 92, 93% cocoa, it's like just putting coffee beans in your mouth and chewing them up. It's that horrible. Oh, my God. Now, I'm thinking that this could be like an acquired taste, you know, how like it is with some, like maybe when you first start drinking coffee for the first time, and then maybe I'll be able to, I'll develop a taste for it. But, I mean, I don't know how. This is as bad. I'd rather lick an asshole. I mean, this is real shit. Oh. I should bring some of this to the Eric Zane Show podcast 1-year anniversary party on Friday at Pepino's, so you can taste this. All right. Man, here we go again. Insurance debacle. As you know, I signed up for Obamacare again. I got a new policy, better than the one I had before. Remember the one, the green check mark debacle for the year 2019, where I bought a policy. And they said, yeah, your doctor's on this. And then I go to the doctor to get checked. Yeah, we don't take this. What the fuck, you don't take this? The green check mark said we don't. No, it doesn't work. So that was a catastrophe. This year, totally new company, totally new policy, more expensive, and for worse coverage, well, bigger deductible, and I have to pay more. What? My God. All right, got the policy. So I set it up on auto pay. So I'll never forget it. I'll never miss a payment. It just sets up. And I kept getting notices saying, you have till December 31st to pay your policy or it's canceled. So I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, I paid it when I signed up, like December 15th. I paid that. What's up now? Yeah, you're going to get canceled. I'm getting email notices. So I call the company, and I'm like, hey, this is saying I'm getting canceled on December 30th. I actually called on December 31st, New Year's Eve. Talked to a lady. She goes, you are not going to be canceled. You are on auto pay. Your next, it's going to draft from your bank account January 1. I go, yeah, I know. That's what I set up. So why the fuck am I getting emails saying that you're going to cancel this shit? She goes, I don't know. It's not true. I'm looking at it. You've done everything right. Cool. Okay, so I should ignore? She goes, yep, ignore. Jackie goes to get a prescription, which is always weird because I get a phone call. Dad, what is it? I'm trying to get my birth control. Oh, God, stop it. Oh. All right, what's going on? Well, I don't have that insurance card. I never give her a card. I go, no problem. I got this here. I got the card here in my wallet. I'm going to give you the information you need. Give her the information. She's actually in line at the pharmacy. A couple minutes later, I'm still on hold. I'm still with Jacqueline. They don't. It doesn't show me. What? Yeah, it's all confusing. I'm all like, what? What's going on? So no one really knows what's up All I know is that at this point in time, this is all that should happen. Jackie says, give me my birth control, shows the card, pay $10, and that's the end of it, right? I mean, that's what it's there for. That's what I paid for. Nothing more should happen other than that. I shouldn't even be getting this phone call. And this is after the policy kicked in January 1. So I'm like, what the fuck? How can this possibly be anything confusing? I have done everything by the book. I even talked to some lady who said I'm good to go. How could this possibly be fucked up? Jacqueline says, all right, they have to do some checking on this. What? Come to find out, they say, yeah, the first set of things I heard was that, somebody may have put your birthday in wrong, Jackie. I'm like, well, who? I mean, what? What do you mean put the birthday in wrong? Yeah, we don't see your birthday showing up here. And I'm like, what? This is all stupid. No, I know everything's right there. But who knows? Maybe. And then next breath, a couple minutes later, Jackie gets in because she has since left the pharmacy and is going to come back later after they call the healthcare provider. I don't know. The word Jackie gets is that our policy was canceled. Canceled! Now, I need you to understand that I am in a frame of mind these days that when things like this happen, these are like speed bumps, and they really get to me, and God, it's an awful feeling. And I'm like, how is this even possible in this day and age that this could be going on right now? So that means now Jackie, and then of course she's like, Dad, okay, I know this is a bad time, but I need this birth control. I mean, I need to have it. And I'm like, oh, God, that's an awful thing. She goes, so I'm like, now I want to ask a question. Well, why don't you just do without it? But she can't, be without the medicine because then she's susceptible to pregnancy. And if she's anything like me, or I should say if she's anything like her mother, she probably can't get it enough. I wish I didn't say that. But and then all of a sudden we'll have another grandchild running around. So I'm like, all right, yeah, let's do it. I'll pay for it out of pocket. Get the receipt. Oh my God, $70. I don't care about that. What I'm just concerned about you're terminated. The fuck I am. Oh. So today I would have called right at 8. When they open, or 7, or I don't know. But obviously I'm getting ready to work here, do my thing. So as soon as I get done with Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia with Dale today, or the Patreon bonus podcast, I have got to get on the phone again and talk to them. What the hell happened here? I want an explanation. Horrible. Did you see what happened in the football playoffs this weekend? My gosh. Nearly every single game was just high drama. Holy crap. The final one, Seattle taking out Philly, wasn't that dramatic. You had the side story about what the hell's the 100-year-old backup came in. Josh McCown. I think that's it. Whatever. But so that was the final game of the weekend, Seattle beating Philadelphia. Prior to that, you had the Minnesota Vikings. I did not think they would do this. Marched into New Orleans and won. What? Oh, my God. I did not see that one coming. So Kirk Cousins from West Michigan, he leads the purple to the victory, and so they win. Now, I'm going to save the best one for the last. But there was also, in the weekend, of course. Hold on a second here. I cannot read my writing. My God, the Buffalo Bills. How sickening is this? You have a franchise that lost 4 straight Super Bowls. and have done nothing but brutalize their fans for decades with the 4 consecutive losses in the Super Bowl and then just out-and-out terrible play for years after that. And they're finally getting to respectability again. And they get to the playoffs, and they open up on the road with a 16-0 lead over the Houston Texans. I mean, they are beating the hell out of Houston. And you're thinking, oh, this is just terrific. What a story. The Buffalo Bills are gonna lay some demons to rest at least a little bit, and they're going to beat the Texans. They didn't do shit for the rest of the game, man. And the Texans came back and beat them. Oh, my God. Buffalo. I feel so bad for you fans. Stu McAllister, Jesus. Oh, I don't even know what to say. This is terrible. Man, I did not, I thought they were in the driver's seat for that game, and they ended up ruining it. And Houston comes back at home and beats them. By the way, I was 2-2 on my picks. Joe Moran said, not bad. The big one, though, that I'm proud of, because I think it was the biggest stretch for the Tennessee Titans to march into Foxborough and pound Tom Brady right in his perfect asshole. Oh my God. Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill only had to throw for 15 yards in order to get the victory. Oh my God, this has got to sting. And did the Tennessee Titans make it so that the era is over? So that Tom Brady will never throw another pass for the New England Patriots? Is that what happened? Who's the coach for Tennessee? Is that Vrabel? Mike Vrabel? Is that the guy's name? I think he used to play. He won 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots back in the day. Okay, so now fast forward, he's a coach, and he coaches Tennessee, and so they march into Foxborough and win the frickin' game. And I think there's one moment in particular that stands out to me that was just so fantastic. And you need a little bit of background. Earlier in the year, Bill Belichick exploited a rule against the New York Jets in a game that his team, the Patriots, were winning big. They were going to win the game, and they just wanted to kind of chew the clock and get the game over with. So they got called. The Patriots earlier in the year got called for a delay of game penalty. So they marched off the 5 yards, and they said, all right, play resumes, and they wound the clock, and then the clock starts ticking off, and then they did a false start, and so they marched it. They were punting, and they marched it back 5 more yards, and then the clock ticks again. And this, you can keep doing this in this fashion because of a league loophole, a loophole in the rules. You can wind the clock down to 5 minutes. So he ate in this game early in the regular season a ton of time. The same opportunity presented itself for Vrabel and the Titans. And they had to punt. And all of a sudden, Tony Romo realizes that Vrabel's doing the same shit to Belichick. They call a delay of game, march the ball back. Now, this is critical because Tennessee is barely ahead in the game. So, it's very important. Time is very, very important here. They burn off 2 minutes of clock, and Belichick is bitching up a storm on the sidelines. They cut to the hoodie, and he's like, I can't do that. What's a bunch of fucking bullshit? You can read his lips, man. Oh, it was great. And that's what that fucker, he did that earlier in the year. So how fantastic. Turnabout, So Tennessee is like, you like that? Eat it. Eat this shit, Belichick. And then Brady, okay, Tennessee finally, or what do you call it? Patriots get the ball back, And they're like at the 1 yard line, okay? After Tennessee punted it and buried them at the 1. I mean, this was great coaching and awesome gamesmanship and terrific special teams play. So Brady now got to go 99 yards, but that's not out of the question for Tom Brady, you know. And sure enough, he throws the ball. The fucker goes to catch it and flies in the air. Tennessee picks it off. Pick 6. Oh, my God. Oh, the folks in Tennessee, there you are. There you are from Nashville to Rocky Top. Holy shit, everybody was losing their minds. Now, I don't know if this is going to continue. I mean, you got a big game as you're going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens next week. But for now, that you are loving that. Is this the end of Brady with Belichick? Is this the end of Brady's career? Will Brady be back with the Patriots? Brady is an unrestricted free agent. If you're New England, do you think he's the guy for you still? Now, if I run the team, Tom Brady's on that team for as long as he wants. I would sign him to 1 year right now. That's what I would do. Or if he said, I want a 3-year deal, I'd do that too. I would do that. I mean, seriously, who gives a shit, right? Even at his advanced age, he's still very, very effective. Or now, if you're Tom Brady, you could also go the route of going on to another team and see how you do. I mean, that would really, if it hasn't already been cemented, cement the legacy as the greatest of all time if you could perform well with another team. I mean, you remember Joe Montana did this when he left San Francisco. He went on to play for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, they didn't win the Super Bowl. I don't even think they went, but I think they went to the AFC Championship game. Remember that game when Montana was playing with that big grapefruit on his elbow? It was all gross and swollen. But, all right, so at the end of the day, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. Or will he just ride off into the sunset and retire? I don't know how somebody like Tom Brady is driven to do this, really. I mean, he will never have to worry about money and anybody and his kids and their kids and their kids. I mean, it's a very wealthy family with his wife, has a very prominent career. She makes more than he does, for God's sake. I don't know what makes them want to do this. That's a very risky line of work. You could get hurt badly. Shit, he must really love that because, I mean, my God, I can't imagine waking up every day to do that gig. And can you imagine if some garbage team like the Lions signs him? Oh, God. That would be a brutal, brutal ending to a career. He'd end up... He'd be dropping back to pass in his first game, and 6 guys would hit him at once, and his head would fly off, and the rest of his body would burst into flames. It'd be the worst thing ever. Holy shit. Who knows what's going to happen there, but I'm anxious to find out. So as I said, the Titans travel to Baltimore. And then the Texans travel to the Chiefs. Is that right? Wait a minute. Okay, let me get this right. In the AFC, yeah, that's right. I cannot read anymore. The Titans are at the Ravens, and the Texans are at the Chiefs, and the Vikes are at the 49ers, and Seattle is at the Pack. Later this week, I'll give you more stone-cold lead pipe locks of the week, which really aren't lead pipe locks, and I don't do the points. I just guess. All right. Coming up next, after I pay some bills, we need to talk about the Iranian general, what's going on in this country, and Rose McGowan. All right? This is serious shit. First off, though, my sponsors, thank you so much for being part of the show. If you want to be a sponsor of the Eric Zane Show podcast, I've made it known that this podcast reaches further or just as far or further than any radio show. It's dirt cheap. I'm moving the meter for moms and pops and big companies all throughout the area. not just in West Michigan. If you have an online-based business, I promise you, I can get people turned on to whatever it is you're pitching. All right? Reach out to me, Eric at EricZaneShow.com. For example, young lady by the name of Amy Porter from A&D Cleaning. You know how great of a feeling it is when you walk into a spick and span clean house? You're like, smells clean, looks clean, there isn't shit everywhere. It's awesome. You go up in your bathroom, the shower's not a grubby mess like mine. Amy does all of that with good old-fashioned elbow grease. Okay? She's working hard and wants to clean your house. If you're in West Michigan, call her up and get an estimate. The number is 616-550-3644. Guys, surprise the missus by hiring Amy. Okay, maybe just once a week. What the hell? 616-550-3644. That's what a lot of our clients do. They're like weekly. You'd be surprised at how affordable this is. A&D Heating. I'm sorry. That's embarrassing. A&D Cleaning. See what I did there? I got A&E Heating and Cooling mixed up with A&D Cleaning. Come on. As well, I want to mention Riverbend Body Shop. My gosh. I'm trying to get those guys back on for another 90-day ad campaign. Reach out to them and drop my name. When I say reach out to them, just take your beat-up car and drive over there to their location on Lake Michigan Drive just east of Wilson and yell, "Hey, Zach DeGroot, Zane sent me." That's all you got to do. March in there and say it. Scream it out loud when you walk in the door. They love that. Zach, we'll give you an estimate, man. And then when you get that estimate in your inbox, he sends it back to you. You say, "Yep, looks good. Let's set a date." You set a date to drop off your sled, and he's going to give you the keys to a loaner car, and off you go. You don't have to worry about anybody carting you around while you get your car fixed up good as new. Thank you so much to Riverbend Body Shop. Online at riverbendbodyshop.com. A true legend in West Michigan. All right. So we never really got into this last week. And truth be told, I had never heard of this Iranian general up until when we blew him up. So how do you say it? Soleimani? The late General Qasem Soleimani. I had never heard of this guy, and I'm sure a lot of you hadn't either. And I think that has something to do with this absurd, ridiculous snowflake outpouring for this guy and the Iranians. Are you of a persuasion, anybody viewing this, who thinks that this was a bad thing of killing this murderous terrorist? I'm going to tell you something, and you might not like it, but you're wrong. This is one of the most evil people that has ever walked the face of the earth. This guy is Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein all rolled into one. And I was taken back by the absurd, we must pray for the Iranians bullshit that was going on because we murdered, we assassinated, we blew to holy hell this piece of shit. My God. Boy, did we kill him. Oh, it was just a spectacular murder. As far as murders go, this was one of the greatest murders that has ever happened. So it was determined that the guy was on the move and he'd been on the want list. He'd been on the hit list for extended time. Now, and they said, all right, he's on the move. What do we do? Blow him up. Take him out. So all of a sudden a missile comes up his ass from some drone and whammo. Man, warfare these days is flat out amazing. It's a living video game. How would you like to be the guy at mission control or whatever who's there with like the joystick guiding this thing, and he sees it on the scope and he goes, fire! Kablamo! Woo! Yeah! And they start doing Fortnite dances because they blew the guy up. It was awesome. And then strike team shows up there. And they, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't even know. From what I'm understanding, we got a hold of, we had a team in there that went in and to make sure we got the guy. Now, this is actually a airstrike that happened in Baghdad. So it isn't like we were invading Iran. We had boots on the ground there, and they show up on the scene where they blew him up, and they're looking around for the remains of this guy, and they did such a good job of blowing the guy up that there was nothing. But one military personnel shouts out, "I think I got something." And they all go over to where this dude is, and he holds up a hand. And it's the dude's hand. And they know it because he had this gigantic decoder ring that he was seen in all these photographs. And They pick up the hand, and they go, "This is it." And they take a picture. They chuck the hand, and that was it. So, dead. And this guy is notorious because he's instrumental in killing over 600 young women and men, U.S. military, over the years. He single-handedly he's the type of piece of shit that would lob some, like, rocket-propelled grenades at, like an embassy or something like that, or whatever it takes, all this guerrilla warfare bullshit, which I guess we're not opposed to either. But so the announcement that he was dead was terrific. That was a big, big win for the U.S. So all these crazy Iranians now are losing their minds and saying, we're going to strike back. Now, the problem is, for anybody on the other for the Iranians or whoever that wants to talk shit, I don't know if that is a good idea because, and I don't, I'm not going to say that I'm all for war. All I know is that you do have a guy in the White House who gives zero shits when it comes to this type of retaliation, which is evident by he just blew the shit out of one of your guys. And I can promise you, now whether you love it or hate it, I don't care. I personally love it. If any nation tries to go after the United States in a retaliatory attempt, they will get blown up. And so I seriously doubt at this point that anyone would strike out against the U.S., namely the Iranians, because Trump is fucking nuts. And he will blow them up. So I certainly hope that does not happen. But make no mistake, this was a very, very good thing that happened by killing this guy. Him being alive put our military in great, great peril. And he was known to be planning vicious, horrible attacks in the very near future. So him being dead, thumbs up. That is great, great work. Now, side note to this. Right after that happened with all the saber rattling, Iran immediately responds with talking all sorts of shit, and Trump immediately responded too by saying we have 52 targets and we will blow you to hell. 52 is symbolic because that's the number of hostages that were taken in 1979. You remember that shit? So that's unbelievable. This is all going on. It's very, very. It's kind of scary, but I mean that's kind of the nature of the beast. That this country has been at war on and off for as long as we've been a country, for the most part. And then I found this interesting. The United States Army, the 82nd Airborne Division out of Fort Bragg, they have a quick response strike team. And I was reading up about this because they're there right now. When the boss, Trump, says deploy them, they have 2 hours to report. Now, what this means is if you're a guy who is on this quick strike team in North Carolina or wherever, you have 2 hours to get to the base because you have to go. All of these troops keep bags ready, on the ready, ready to go. It's their job to be ready. So you had guys on like New Year's Eve, like drinking with their friends, and all of a sudden, hey, get to the base. Get to the chopper. Holy shit. Can you imagine that? With hours notice, U.S. Fast Response Force flies to the Mideast. Hundreds of soldiers deployed Saturday from Fort Bragg to Kuwait, serving as reinforcements in the Middle East, because we don't have that strong, we don't have that large of a contingency there. So we got to build it up fast. So these guys fly out. They throw on their gear. The 3,500 members of the division's Quick Deployment Brigade, known officially as the Immediate Response Force, deployed. My God. Very, very fast. One dude just left a text. He says, honey, I got to go. Couldn't even say goodbye to her, the kids, nothing. Order. Get over there. Let's see. April Chamard said she was at work on New Year's Eve. Her husband was watching their 5 kids when he texted her that he had to leave. He's got to like bang on the door of the neighbor, say, watch the kids. I'm going to kick some ass. Grabs his bag. He's gone. At first, he wasn't sure if it was a drill or a deployment. She said her husband has been in the military since 2010 and has already deployed twice to Afghanistan. But with those prior deployments, the family had much more time to prepare to say goodbye. This time, she got a second message confirming he was leaving, and he departed in a plane on the afternoon of New Year's Day. Kids kept saying, when Dad's going to be home, said Schumard, 42. It's literally thrown me for a loop. No, it didn't. It didn't literally. Stop saying literally. And him as well. He's still in disbelief of where he's gone. Our heads are spun. That's the nature of the job, man. Those warriors, badasses. I am proud to know those people exist. It's fantastic. All right. Now, let's talk Rose McGowan. Wow. Rough time for this crazy bitch. My God, she's an actress. I don't know what the fuck she's been in. It'll say somewhere in this article. But she was really wound up about us blowing up this terrorist. I think she's one of these people who just didn't. Well, first of all, she hates Trump. And here's the problem. When half the country hates Trump, they look at something like this, which has been carried out by countless presidents prior, with the huge contingency of and very, very loud, impassioned hatred for the president. All it takes, like something like this, for the usual suspects to take this very, very good, positive thing that happened and act like it's terrible. But it's not. I know people personally who did that, and I just rolled my eyes and went, "Oh boy, let them get it out of their system. It's fine. They'll get over it. They'll probably forget about it in an hour." She flipped out though, and she's got like 1 billion people that follow her, and she move over Hanoi Jane. You remember that? Jane Fonda? During the Vietnam War, she went over to like the Viet Cong and was taking pictures on their guns, and very treasonous traitor-like behavior by Jane Fonda. I mean, for the rest of her life now, she'd do a book signing, she'd get like a guy, a Vietnam vet, come over and spit in her face and shit for that. It was awful. McGowan is the new Hanoi Jane. You don't want to do this, man. This is a bad deal. She wrote, "Dear #Iran, the USA has disrespected your country, your flag, and your people." She continues, 52% of us humbly apologize. Oh. We want peace with your nation, she writes. We are being held hostage by a terrorist regime. We do not know how to escape. Please do not kill us. Hashtag Soleimani. Now, I can promise you, she was probably stoned or under the influence of something. This is another Hollywood moron she had probably no idea who this Soleimani is. I think this is part of a bigger problem. She probably didn't know who this guy was. I know I'm making an excuse for her, but it doesn't matter. She's fucked anyway. For her to dive into this treasonous type of tweet like that, this is not going to go well for her at all. So people were tweeting at her, delete this. And she's writing, fuck you. She's like doubling down on it. Well, this broke bad. And everybody blew up at her. So bad, it backfired so badly that she started to tweet and tried to like walk it back in some weird way, but it's like I don't know if that's gonna work, man. After all of that, she quickly received. This is from CBS, which is this isn't like a right-leaning publication. She quickly received thousands of replies, tens of thousands, many of which said she's anti-American, and she is. That is an anti-American statement. It's a horrible thing to say. She doubled down on that before she finally came to her senses, calling the United States morally corrupt. Now, I like the fact that this stupid bitch says we're being held hostage. We don't know how to escape. A lot of people were like, yeah, you do. Leave. What's the big deal? I mean, if you're that hell-bent on behaving in this sentiment, why in the world would you stay here? That makes no sense. All right. Then she tweets this. Of course, Soleimani, I guess she did a little homework, I don't know, was an evil man who did evil, evil things, she tweeted. But the United States is morally corrupt and acts illegally. It is only logical to appeal to Iran's pride by apologizing. Boy, she is in the fucking weeds. Holy shit. She then tweeted, I do not side with Iran, but I most definitely do not side with the USA. All right. Then she starts trying to reel it in a little bit. Later on in the day, probably the opioids wear off a little bit. Maybe PR folks are like, we're never going to fucking work again, Rose. What the hell isn't this the chick who started Me Too? Maybe she like got a taste of the good life with all of the Harvey Weinstein shit. And now she's like, this is my new thing. And it's completely blown up in her stupid fucking anorexic face. Stupid asshole. She tweets, okay, so I freaked out because we may have impending war. First of all, side note on that. Every snowflake in the world was tweeting World War III and all this other shit and saying they're going to get drafted because of the financial aid. Fine print says we're about to be drafted. All bullshit, by the way. Oh, my God. Horrible. Sometimes, okay, let me start over. Okay, so I freaked out because we may have impending war, she tweeted. Sometimes it's okay to freak out on those in power. It's our right. This is what so many brave soldiers have fought for. She's so trying to reel it in. Nobody's buying it. That is democracy. I do not want any more American soldiers killed. That's it. In an interview with the Associated Press, which I cannot believe she gave, she said she wants America, we need to be better. We need to be better. We are being better. We were great. We were the best. And we only found his fucking hand. How great do you want us to be? And that was great. That was being the best we could possibly be. Let's see. I want America to be better. But she said she does not support Iran over the U.S. because they were like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here, Hanoi Jane? She defended her statements and said that they are not anti-American. Yes, they were. Whether you meant them to be or not, those were anti-American statements. But she did admit that they were unusual. She continues. So I just thought I would do something a little strange or unusual, okay? These are her words. Bloodshed should be avoided if you can, she told the AP. And I kind of just thought, what if I take a really bizarre way around this? A very strange thought, I understand. So she's kind of like qualifying herself as what I did was strange in some weird, jacked way. It's like, wait a minute. We killed a bad guy. We didn't go and nuke a country, for God's sake. It was a tactical strike. One Hellcat missile went up this guy's ass, blew him to holy hell. We found his hand. All these crazy Iranians are running through the street. They picked up the hand, kind of like that dude in the Happy Gilmore movie when his hand, what's his name? Apollo Creed's hand shakes. What? Picked up his hand, and they threw the hand in a coffin. The coffin's probably like 1 foot big because they had to carry the hand through the streets. Now these crazy Iranians, they're crying on TV. Man, you know who's going to be happy about this? My dad. Holy shit, he's been waiting for this since he moved to the U.S. Since my dad was so sick and tired of getting his ass kicked by Iranians. Oh, my God. Wait until Deer Meathead on Wednesday. He's going to be like, yes, it's a long time coming, guy. I cut my hand off for them. Oh, he's going to be over the moon about this. Oh, fantastic. What a glorious, glorious thing this was. I'm so proud of those that did it. And I'm so proud of that quick response team, just dropping their lives to be in harm's way so that shitheads like me can sit here with my dogs here and in this room that you built for me. Thank you. Thank you so much. My God. McGowan, you stupid fuck. Can you believe that shit? It's not anti-American. The fuck it's not. Holy shit. And I love that everybody was like, you're an asshole. Even the people, you know what happened? The only people who responded to her were people who support the military and just think she's crazy. All the folks on the left were like, oh, fuck, we're getting out of here, man. This is ridiculous. And you had the usual suspects. I like I said, I know a few. I saw a few tweets from people I know and love who are like, oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. And you see they're like making a big deal because Trump made a statement in 2012 saying in 2012 that you watch Barack Obama is going to blow up Iran. And it's like, so what? I don't care. They've had it coming for a long time. If Obama blew somebody up that deserved it back then, I'd be like, I don't give a shit. Those were bad people. This should happen weekly in my book. Well done. Well done, I say. All right. I might be in the weeds on the next segment because I had some audio I wanted to get to. Oh, no, I got it. Good. In the next segment, and when I say segment, it's basically just me doing my next bit of ads, and then the next thing I'm going to talk about. We need to get into the story about the toe sucker. We need to get into the story about the death of David Stern, the NBA commissioner. In fact, that'll be next. And the sportscaster who got in the weeds while trying to eulogize him. My God, David Stern, 77 years old, dies. Sportscaster wants to eulogize him on TV. Does not go as planned. All right, a lot of ranting and raving on here. You can see that regularly on Cameo. What the hell is Cameo? When you get a free minute, go to cameo.com/Eric Zane. Or download the Cameo app. That's what I recommend, especially if you're going to hire me. You can actually hire me to do the dirty work, the heavy lifting for you. You want to quit a job? You just put your boss's email in there. The request comes to me after you pay your $15. I tell your boss to go to hell and you quit. You get the Cameo. He gets the Cameo. Done. You want to break up with a crazy girlfriend? I'm the guy. Crazy boyfriend? I'll do it. How about you wish somebody a happy anniversary or a birthday? I'll do that too. I can make this as mean, raunchy, or as sweet and kind as you want it to be. I just need your direction. Download the Cameo app, or if you just want to get a taste of what I've done, some of my other work, you can see some of my cameos at cameo.com/Eric Zane. All right, another year with A&E Heating and Cooling. Now get this, I've got the deal down. We've had other deals in the past. This is the latest deal from A&E Heating and Cooling if you're in West Michigan. If you want to install a humidifier, and you should have a humidifier on your furnace if you want to stay healthy during the cold months, it's going to cost you $615 to have that installed. If you mention my name, it's going to save you $100. How about that? The $615 is already cheaper than all the other idiots that are going to gouge you in and around the area. Throw in the $100 off from me. Call Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. As well. Let's say you hired Joe for a new furnace install. That humidifier I was telling you about, he throws that in free when you mention me. So that's a $615 value from that guy. Clearly, one too many cervezas have made his brain mush. 616-516-8579. Also, active and retired military and the senior citizens get 15% off. What? On anything. Tune-up, install. No, wait a minute. I take that back. On new installs. 616-516-8579 or any repair. 15% off active, retired military, senior citizens. Senior citizens. From A&E Heating and Cooling, online at aeheatingcooling.net. If you see him driving around in his rape van, make sure you honk at him and wave. He drives around wearing a sombrero. A lot of awesome racist jokes in here. While we're at it, we're now in the dark period for tag accounting. January 1 to April 15. 16 hours a day, every day of the week for Troy Ginzer and his staff. Did you hear me? 16 hours a day, every day till April 15th. Wow. There is still time to reach out to him to set up a time to get your return done. Do not do your taxes on your own. The tax laws are different. You're going to leave money on the table. You're going to screw it up. You're going to waste so much time. Don't give me your QuickBooks or your TurboTax horse shit. Trust me, do not use those. Waste of time, waste of money. Hand it all to Troy. Let his little hobbit-like ass do it for you. Okay? Call him. 616-301-9516. He's hyper as all hell, so he's going to call you back if you have to leave a message. 616-301-9516. You don't even have to visit with him. You can, when you get your taxes done after the initial meeting, you just upload your shit on his portal, and that's it. The return shows up in your bank. Your cash shows up in your bank. He's going to email you your return. You're good to go. It's awesome. Can't stress this enough. 616-301-9516. All right, Dale's going to be here in like 5 minutes. Shit. Man. You're going to love Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia today. I've got music. I've got sound effects. I got a $25 cash prize from Bennett Flooring Installations. So, David Stern died. former commissioner of the NBA, National Basketball Association. The folks on Fox Sports South hockey coverage are going to say, we're sorry to talk about the passing of his death. And they read a statement, the hockey guys read a statement from the commissioner of the NHL, Gary Bettman. But this dude somehow fucks this up. And instead of saying the passing of David Stern has rocked the sports world, here's a statement from Gary Bettman. Two names here. David Stern, dead. Gary Bettman, still alive, still very much the commissioner of hockey. Stern, dead. Bettman, alive. The dude takes every time he's supposed to say David Stern and says Gary Bettman. He says, the passing of Gary Bettman has made us sad. Here's a statement from Gary Bettman about the passing of Gary Bettman. He announced Gary Bettman's death, not dead. Listen to this shit. In theory.
Where yesterday the sporting world lost Gary Bettman, the most significant commissioner perhaps of our lifetime, leading the NBA for 30 years. He dies at the age of 77. Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, was his associate when Mr. Bettman arrived in the NHL in 1994 and has served this league since.
Oh, my God.
It is a personal loss for Gary, and he says, I am extremely saddened at this.
I'm saddened
David
my
taught
death.
me how to be a commissioner and, more importantly, how to try and be a good person. David will be missed terribly, especially by his wife, Diane, his sons, Andrew and Eric, all of whom have Shelley and my deepest condolences. Gary Bettman leaves us at 77, a legendary commissioner in professional sport.
Oh, my God. Somebody's going to have to sit a few plays out. Oh, shit. No. I am very sad at my death. Gary Bettman, I will be missed. Oh, man. He was so good in reading that. I'm wondering, because he's sitting next to, I'll post this in the comments of the podcast, the audio podcast, that, I mean, he was so thorough with that I don't even think he believed it. Somebody probably had to do the old Ron Burgundy when he was done, say, hey, Ron, you said Gary Bettman, you never mentioned David Stern once. Oh, my God. Folks, I did not manage my time well today. I got to stop. I don't want to stop, but I have to stop. I have to stop because Dale's going to be walking in the door in like 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to play trivia. Kevin is going to play Dale in Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia. If you want to watch that live, we're going to go live with that on Patreon at about 9:35. And I hate ending on commercials. I like to go commercials, and then I like to go like another story. I'm kind of fucked here because I got to pay 2 more clients. All right, I'll try to make this as compelling as I can, even though it's a sponsor. I mean, I don't know how many of you listen to the sponsor. Hopefully you don't bump ahead because you never know when something funny is going to happen on the sponsors. Well, anyway, here it goes. If you got kids, the TC Paintball Little League is blowing up every Thursday at 4:30. Now, this is perfect for if your kid, they're not into sports. They just like playing video games maybe. They don't move around a whole lot. You let them do this, real-life video games, okay? 8 to 11. That's the age group we're talking about. That's the TC Paintball Little League. What you do is you reach out to my friends at TC Paintball, call them up, and ask about it. It's Thursdays at 4:30, and you can get more information at their website, tcpaintball.com. They use the low-velocity gun, so it doesn't hurt, but they're going to see that shit flying at them. They got the mask on. They're all geared up. They're completely safe. Rick's hosting the game. Man, I just saw pictures from the last event. Those kids loved it. They're making new friends. So especially if you got a kid who maybe likes to sit in front of the TV a little too much, you might want to think about this because they will have a great time. tcpaintball.com, the Little Leagues. Little League events are Thursday at 4:30. Thank you, Rick, at TC Paintball. And while I'm at it, another great year is in store from Blue Frost IT. The For Life managed IT service provider of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Now, whether they're a sponsor or not, they're still my folks, my guys, my guy and girl. Alan and Ashlyn, West Michigan's newest power couple. They run this great business, and if you need tech help with your small or medium-sized business, you need to be on a monthly plan with Blue Frost IT. I want you to call them, 616-200-8550. 616-200-8550 for Blue Frost IT. They can help you with your small or medium-sized business, all right? And it's very, very affordable to be on a monthly plan. Have your own tech department, okay? Your own managed IT service provider without, having to pay for the insurance. You've got your own boots on the ground, okay, with Blue Frost IT. All right. Moments away from Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia. In this week's episode, I'm going to have the big screen so you'll be able to see Kevin's beautiful face as he takes on Dale. I've got music from John. Oh, it's going to be a hit. You're going to love it. We're hitting our stride. Year 2. Year 1 and 1 episode is in the books. Thank you so much, folks. We'll talk to you down the road.